we're going to test drive a Lucid Air. It's a Lucid Air? It's the Air we're test driving?
Grand Touring.
We are Air Grand Touring? Lucid Air Grand Touring. Lucid Grand Touring. We're going to go test drive a Lucid. I don't know what we're going to see. When I say we, he's going to test drive a Lucid, because I doubt they're going to let me behind the wheel unless good brakes on this car, unless we kidnap the rep. Oh, look at the nice Ferrari. Not often you see a blue Ferrari.
No.
They're normally red. People have no imagination with Ferraris. I've just alienated all the Ferrari drivers that watch my YouTube channel, both of them. Anyway, today we are going to test drive a Lucid Grand Touring something car, and my friend Steve here is going to be one of the first people in the state to get the car. Isn't that right?
That's true.
And how do you feel about that?
I'm excited. Very excited.
That's his excited face. This is my excited face. So this is going to be interesting. I haven't seen one of these. I've read about them. I haven't seen any on the road, presumably because they haven't delivered any here yet. But we will see. So we're going to see this Lucid Air and test drive it. And my friend Steve has just told me how many horsepowers it's got. How many horsepowers does it have?
800.
800 horsepower. What the hell are you going to do with 800 horsepower?
I don't know. They shouldn't be allowed to have more than 10 times your age, or you get in trouble.
So that means you can have 900 horsepower.
Oh, that's not cute. That's not funny.
I think it's very funny. No, seriously, what are you going to do with 800 horsepower?
I have no idea.
You're going to be buying new tires all the time.
Probably. And these tires are, from what I understand, are very expensive on this car.
Well, it's heavy. It's because the car's heavy.
Yeah.
How many torques does it have?
I forgot.
Lots. Lots of torques. Ample.
Yeah.
It's got ample torques.
More than I'm going to need.
Yeah. Too much horsepower, too many torques.
The next level one down is 600 horsepower.
Oh, and that's not enough.
No, I think
What are you going to do with just 600 horsepower?
drive.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's not exactly like you drive like a maniac.
No.
Look at him. He's being very careful with his driving. Because he knows I'm looking at everything he's doing. So we're masked up, and I'm standing next to the entry-level Lucid. You don't get much car for your money. This is where the excitement stopped, because not only would they not let me drive the car, but they wouldn't let me film the test drive. So I have no film to show you, but we can take a look at the car and I can give you some quick thoughts. Not sure if I'm a fan of the design or not. This silver accent, I just find a little distracting, and actually find the design quite bland. I think some would probably call it minimalist. Maybe it will grow on me. One thing both my friend Steve and I found was that it was difficult to get in the rear. Both of us smacked our heads on the rear door opening, because it's low, and it's lower than you expect it to be, just because the way the styling is done at the back. All in all, I'd say the finish is really nice. It seems a very high quality, nice materials. The one amazing thing about this car is the glass roof. The windshield sweeps up and over. So it's very, very airy inside, and there's a glass panel over the rear seats as well. So it lets in a ton of light. And I am told that it is UV protected, so it won't get really hot in the summer, but we would have to see. Another really nice touch is the center touchscreen lifts up and folds away. You can have additional storage behind there. But once again, just have to go through menus to do certain things. Like just moving the steering wheel was a whole production in itself, because you have to go into the menus and then press the screen. And what is wrong with buttons and levers, or a combination of buttons and levers and touchscreen menus? In terms of some of the details, and we mentioned that this was an 800 horsepower car, it's actually got 885 pound-feet of torque. So that's pretty impressive. But it weighs 5,266 pounds, which is staggering. And this car is well known for having a significant amount of range. It's got 516 miles in the Grand Touring. But one of the consequences of that is it's got a pretty big battery under the floor. The floor's high, so you don't get much support underneath your legs. And there's no space under the front seats for your toes to go. The battery is 112 kilowatt hours, which is a big battery, so that explains the lack of floor space. And it's dual motor all-wheel drive, and it can accept up to 300 kilowatts DC charging. That is, if you can find a 300 kilowatt DC charger. It has 900 volt architecture to enable that 300 kilowatt charging. It's got a 19.2 kilowatt onboard charger, which in theory, given the 112 kilowatt hour battery, would mean it's around 6 hours to fully charge. But at 240 volts, that would require an 80 amp service. So what did I think about the car? It was fine. It was a lot like any other electric car, to be honest. It's nicely designed inside. Acceleration is immediate and very, very strong. And this isn't the most powerful one. The Dream Edition, which is all sold out, that had 1,111 horsepower, so God knows what that one feels like. If it was me buying this, I think I'd go for the Touring or even the Pure. The Grand Touring is about $40,000 more than the Touring, and with that you get 516 miles range versus 406 in the Touring, which has 620 horsepower. So that's it. Sorry I didn't get any video of this car actually moving, but I promise I will just as soon as Steve takes delivery of his.